Good morning, students. How are you? Well, I'm present again with the third video of the same chapter, The Broken Ear Goes Missing by Georges Gravy. Okay? In this video, I'll continue the lesson. In the previous video, we studied that the Arumbia fetus was stolen from the Museum of Ethnography. Okay, it was the closing time when the gallery attendant was closing the door of the museum. A man allowed himself to enter the museum and the gallery attendant did not notice. And next morning, the news came that the Arumbia fetus had been stolen. Okay? And Tintin and his dog Snowy, they both were, they both woke up from their bed in the next morning, and when they were doing exercises, morning exercises, they listened the news of the robbery in the museum, and the robbery was about the Arumbia fetus. Okay, and it was clear as there was no sign of forced entry. So it was believed that the thief allowed himself to be locked at closing time. Then he, Tintin, and his dog Snowy ran to the museum. The gallery attendant informed the police and the director of the museum. The police came and investigated the case. First, the policemen doubt the gallery attendant, but the director made it clear that the attendant, means the watchman, was had been working there for 12 years, and he was very honest and sincere. Okay. Then Tintin started studying the book in which the information was given about Arumbia fetus. Okay. Now you will study the next paragraph in this video. Okay. So these are the word meanings that will come in the paragraphs. You will note it down. Okay, students. Now let's begin the lesson. You see in this picture, the next morning, the gallery attendant takes his sweeping stick and a bucket in his right hand, and he goes on to sweep the museum, to clean the floors and the other objects. And suddenly he throws his stick and the bucket, and he is surprised. This shows that the gallery attendant is surprised and shocked to see something. And then in next video he starts running. He is extremely frightened, afraid, and he takes off his hat, his cap, and he runs outside the museum and says it's witchcraft. Witchcraft means black magic or sorcery. Okay, so he sees something strange, magic, and says this is black magic. And what is this? Now you will see in next picture. Then he calls to the director. Hello, hello, hello. Is that you, Mr. Director, sir? Now he gives the information of what he has seen in the museum. What was strange. Okay? And the director receives the phone and he speaks. Yes, speaking means yes, I'm director speaking. Who is calling? Oh, it's you, Sydney. Yes, means the name of the gallery attendant is Sydney. He said, oh, it's you, Sydney. Yes. What? The fetus. Gracious, I'm on my way. Gracious means, oh God. So he tells, means the gallery attendant tells something to the director about the Aurumbia fetus. And the director is also surprised, shocked to listen the news. Okay? And then he says, just wait, means he says, oh God. Gracious means, oh God, I'm on my way means I'm just coming. Okay? Now the next page. Okay students, now come at page number 72. So this is the first picture. He is the director of the museum. Listening the news from the gallery attendant, he is running very fast and surprised. Okay? He is running fast and he is going where? He is going to the museum of the ethnography. So here now see, it's extraordinary. The fetus was back in its usual place. In its usual means real place this morning. Together with this letter conspicuously placed next to it. What do you think? These are two policemen. So they are reading a letter. It's extraordinary. Extraordinary means that is strange. The fetus was back. The fetus that had been stolen one day before, it was back. Where? In its usual place, in its actual place this morning. Together with this letter means the statue and a letter. Conspicuously means clearly, obviously. Conspicuously placed means clearly placed means put next to it. Means the statue, the fetus was returned, means it came back, and a letter was put clearly beside it. What do you think? He who speaks, this director of the museum speaks this thing, that the fetus was back in its usual place with a letter, and the letter was clearly placed next to it. Then the same note, the same letter is read by the two policemen. Then here, this is the gallery attendant. Here, in my opinion, gentlemen, the fetus is bewitched. Bewitched means magic. Bewitched means has a spell over, means has a magic. So here the gallery attendant says that in my opinion the fetus means the statue has magical power. That's why it has returned. Now here what is written in the letter? See. Dear Mr. Director. It was addressed to the director. The letter was addressed to the director. So the writer of this letter has written, Dear Mr. Director, I took a wager. Wager means bet, promise or bet, with some friends that I could take a piece from your museum. Okay, so means the writer had a bet with his friends that he could take a piece from that museum. I won my bet. Who won the bet? The writer of this letter. I won my bet, so I am returning the purloined object. Purloined means it is meaning given. 9 number means stolen. So I have means I have he has written. I have won my bet, so I am returning this stolen object. What is the stolen object? The fetus. Please accept my sincere apologies from the trouble caused. Okay. Please accept my sincere apologies means he expresses his apologies means he is extremely sorry for his deeds, for the trouble means the trouble that he has given to the director and the attendants. So he expressed his sorry. Yours sincerely. Okay. X means here there should be the name of the writer, but this is unknown letter, so name is not written. Clear? Now come to the next picture. So see here, this is the returned fetus. Tintin is standing here, Tintin, and a policeman is here. They both are observing the statue. And number 3542, this was the number of the real statue. Arumbia fetis, the Arumbia tribe live along the banks of the river Cauliflower in the Republic of San Theodorus. Okay. Now, after observing, here they discuss. My mind is made up. This letter is an anonymous letter. Anonymous means not identified by name. Means when the writer of the letter is unknown, from unknown person. So my mind is made up. Who speaks? Here one of the policemen speaks that my mind is made up means I have decided that this letter is an anonymous letter means unknown letter. Means the writer of this letter is not known, unknown. Then the second policeman speak. To be precise means to speak clearly, an anonymous letter whose author is unknown. Means whose author is unknown means that author is not known, not identified. So here now see here in this picture Tintin and his dog Snowy. They are returning from the museum. So according to the police, the case is closed. Well, that isn't my view. So Tintin speaks. He thinks that according to the police, the case is closed. Why? Because the stolen fetus was back. The stolen fetus had been returned to its actual place. So the police had closed the case. So according to the police, the case is closed. Well, that isn't my view. But Tintin is not agree with that letter. He says that isn't my view. Means in my view, the case is different. The case should not be closed. The reality is different. And here Snowy thinks what's he got up his sleeve now means what the clue he has got means Tintin has got. What's he got up means what idea he has got up now. Okay. And here in next picture Tintin collides with a pole, an electric pole. Why? Because he is walking blindly. He thinks about the case and does not notice that there is an electric pole in front of him or in the way, and then he collides with the pole, and his dog Snowy is surprised. Okay. Okay, now in this picture, after colliding with an electric pole, Tintin speaks, "I beg your pardon, sir. Miss. Sorry, sir, I didn't notice you." Okay, he thought that he hit someone else. Snowy speaks, "Eyes open, Tintin. At least look where you are going." Means Snowy advises Tintin to walk carefully, to be watchful. So he says, "Eyes open, Tintin. At least look where you are going." Means just see what is in your way. Walk carefully. Am I then the only one who realizes that the returned fetus is a fake? Now he thinks. Tintin thinks deeply about the case of Aurumbia fetus. So he says, "Am I then the only one? Means, am I the only person who realizes, means who thinks or feels that the returned fetus, means returned statue is a fake? Fake means duplicate or false, not real." Okay, and then Snowy also collides with a dustbin. Means Snowy was advising Tintin, and Snowy is doing the same thing. Okay, so this create a humor, a fun here in this picture. Now, and here is the proof. Now again Tintin starts reading book, and he reads in the book, and here is the proof. The author of this book states, means has written that his sketch is highly accurate, means original or real. The author has stated, means the author says or has written that his sketch, means the picture of the statue, is highly, means really highly accurate, means actually real. But according to this drawing, okay, this drawing, this is the statue. The right ear of the fetus is slightly damaged. According to the sketch given in the book, the right ear of the fetus, means the statue, you can see the point of the pencil towards the ear. So according to the book, the right ear of the fetus is slightly, means a little damaged, means broken. A small piece is missing. A small piece is missing, means here the ear is missing. Okay, now see the next picture. But the right ear of the returned fetus is intact. Intact means unbroken. But the statue that was returned to the museum had a complete ear. But the right ear of the returned fetus, returned statue, is intact. Intact means complete. The right ear is complete, but the ear of the real statue, the right ear of the real statue was slightly damaged, but the returned statue had a complete ear. It must therefore be a replica. Replica means duplicate or an exact copy. Okay, so duplicate of the original. It means the returned statue is the duplicate of the original. Okay, who then would be interested in owning the original? Means who would be owning, means taking the original? A collector? That's quite likely. It may be possible. It is possible. It may be so. Let's see what the newspaper have to say. He thinks himself a proper Sherlock Holmes. Who thinks? Here Snowy thinks that Tintin thinks himself a proper Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes is a detective, a character in the story, detective. Okay, now Snowy reads the newspaper. What is written? Fatal negligence. Negligence means carelessness. A critically acclaimed means praised artist was found dead this morning, overcome by gas fumes in his flat at 21 London Road. Due to gas fumes, the acclaimed, highly praised artist was dead. He found dead. Where? At 11 London Road. According to police has said, police broke into the flat. The police broke the door of the flat and entered after tenants. Tenants means the people who were living in the rooms on rent called about a strong smell. They smelled a strong smell of gas that seemed to come from a room occupied by Mr. Balthazar, a painter and sculptor. So, who was the artist? Mr. Balthazar, a painter and the sculptor. He was famous artist. They found the artist dead on his bed. It is thought the victim had forgotten to turn off the tap of on the gas stove. Curiously, pet, his pet parrot survived, but he had a parrot. The parrot had survived, but the artist was dead. Apparently, Miss clearly unaffected by the gas fumes. He was clearly unaffected. Who? The parrot. Mr. Balthazar had, on a number of occasions, attracted critical attention with a series of wooden statuettes, means small statues, carved in a manner strongly evocative. Evocative means reminder of primitive. Primitive means old, or you can say preserving the character of an early age stage in history. Primitive, old age, ancient history. Okay, now see here the last picture. Stop going round in circles. You are making me dizzy. Who says? Snowy. So, you know what was the reality? The real statue was stolen, and then it was replaced by a duplicate statue. It was made by Mr. Balthazar, the painter and sculptor, and then he was murdered so that the secret could be concealed, or it should be kept hidden. Okay, now this lesson is over.